ॐ नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तमलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। भगवद्गीता अध्याय 2 श्लोक 62 and 63. We will study them together as they are interconnected. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषूपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति। While describing the qualities of a sthita prajna, Bhagavan said that a sthita prajna is one who has restraint over his indriyas, mastery over his senses. Then there is a context of mastery over the senses and mastery over the mind. Then Bhagavan is explaining the need for disciplining one's senses and mind. In this context, Bhagavan is describing what happens if one allows free rein to one's senses as well as mind, without making any effort to restrain them. If one does not make effort to restrain the mind and senses, it leads to a step-by-step downfall, a step-by-step spiritual downfall. Initially, it might seem innocuous. It might seem harmless. But there is something insidious about it. Like a slow poison. Initially you don't know what harm it is causing. But in due course of time, it is leading to destruction. And here the destruction is in the form of spiritual downfall. Once a person ends up in a spiritual downfall, it is not easy to recover. It may take a long time, and sometimes it is a matter of a few janmas also. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. Vishayadhyana. Everything starts with thinking about any particular sense object. Vishayadhyana. And even this Vishayadhyana starts with the Indriya. Either you see something or you hear something. There is a new model of cell phone, iPhone. You saw the advertisement. Through the advertisement, the Vishaya entered the mind. The mind has already captured the Vishaya, the sense object. Then the dhyana starts. Dhyana means thinking. You think of its merits. New model. You think of its merits. So many good features. As you consider its merits, as you keep thinking about its desirable qualities, there is a desire. A form of desire arises in the mind. It may be a mild desire. It is nice to have it. The thought that it is nice to have it. And Krishna calls it sangaha. Sangaha means interest. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate. Vishayan dhyayataha pumsaha. Pumsaha, purushasya. A man. Man may be woman also. Any individual. Vishayan dhyayataha. When the person thinks about a particular sense object, teshu sangaha upajayate. Teshu vishayeshu. In the sense objects, sangaha, interest, upajayate, arises. It is nice to have it. This thought arises. So, if thinking about the sense object is continued, it gives rise to an interest. So, even the interest does not seem to be harmful. But the interest is allowed. You are not checking it. Then the interest grows. And it becomes a craving, a strong desire. I should have it. Sangaha is a milder desire. It is nice to have it. And interest is, then kamaha. In this context, kama should be understood as a strong desire, a craving. I should have it. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. Sangat, because of sanga, kamaha sanjayate. Kama arises. So I want to have the object. The new model of Apple iPhone. I want to have. What is the latest model? I don't know. Okay, what? 13 Pro Max. Okay, 13 Pro Max. So I want to have 13 Pro Max. Kamaha. I have to have it. My old cell phone is not enough. And then I don't have money to buy 13 Pro Max. I have to ask someone to buy 13 Pro Max. And how much does it cost? I don't know. Anyway, let's say it around 60,000 rupees maybe. Yeah. Okay, 60,000 rupees. I don't have that much money. So I ask my friend, give me money to buy 13 Pro Max. Then the person refuses. I will not allow you to buy 13 Pro Max. Because you just 6 months back you bought another model. Just 6 months back. It has not become old. Why you want a new model in just 6 months? My friend is not giving me money. And not only he is not giving me money, he is against my buying 13 Pro Max. You should not buy. Use your old cell phone. And the old is not really old also. Then I get angry with him because he blocks my kama, my desire. Kama is obstructed. He comes in way of my pursuing the desire. Then I get krodha. Kamat krodho bhijayate. From kama arises krodha, anger, hatred. And when the krodha arises, I lose sight of what is right and what is wrong. What is dharma and what is adharma, I lose sight of it. Because my viveka gets clouded. At least for the time being. I forget what I should do and what I should not do. Because the impulse of krodha, the impulse of anger overpowers my viveka, my understanding of right and wrong. Then I act under the spell of Krodha. Under the spell of Krodha, I may shout at my friend. And sometimes I might beat him also, punch his nose, because I am under the spell of Krodha. And my viveka is blocked by the Krodha. Therefore, Krodhat bhavati sammoha. From Krodha, because of Krodha, there is sammoha. My mind gets deluded. It loses the discrimination between what is right and wrong. And once I act as a slave of my anger, as a slave of my krodha, I have already made a mistake. But then I am not ready to accept the mistake. Instead, I try to justify the mistake, because my ego does not allow me to accept the mistake. There is arrogance. I don't want to accept the mistake in front of others, and I don't want to get convinced of myself also. For myself, I am not ready to get convinced that I have made a mistake. Because if I accept the mistake for myself, I feel a sense of guilt. But therefore, my mind itself tries to justify what I have done is correct. The mind tries to find some justification to cover up the mistake. It is okay to punch my friend. If I can punch one friend, I can punch another friend also. Next time the same thing happens, I get angry with another friend, then also my krodha overtakes. And then, since I have justified in the first time, the second time my mind does not even remember that it is wrong. The viveka, the memory of what is right and wrong itself is blocked afterwards. That is why you might have heard of the criminals. First time when they commit the crime, it is difficult. Their conscience will not allow, at least up to certain extent. They know it is wrong. Despite knowing it is wrong, because of the force of their impulses, they commit the crime for the first time. Then second time, third time, it becomes easier and easier to commit the crime. That is why a series killer Serial killer. Okay. Serial killer. He keeps on killing easily. It's not difficult for him to kill. And so are the halal people. It's easy for them. Slitting the throat. The conscience itself gets blocked for good. It is called Smriti Vibhramaha. Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha. Sammoha leads to Smriti Vibhrama. The memory of right and wrong itself stops arising. Even though he has learnt what is right and wrong, he has the moral education, yet what is right and wrong, the memory itself does not come. The conscience becomes weaker. Therefore, sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha. And when his own conscience is not functioning, then even suggesting to him, giving advices to him are also useless. You try telling him this is not right, don't do this. He is not open to it. Because he has become a habitual offender. Because he has no conscience. It has become his habit. Telling him is of no use. His mind has lost the ability to understand the right and wrong. It is called buddhinasha. Smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha. His buddhi is as good as useless. Because it is no more capable of viveka. Nobody can tell him. Nobody can try to correct him. Buddhinashat pranashyati. And once buddhinasha happens, it is purushanasha. Even the person is lost. Pranashyati. It is a spiritual degradation. He is lost in terms of spirituality. No more values, no more spiritual pursuit is possible until he regains his conscience, which we don't know when it is going to happen. Because of some punya, after a long time, once again he should understand. Now I have to improve. Until then, he is lost. See the bhashya. Atha idanim para bhavishyatah सर्वानर्थमूलम् इदमुच्यते अथ इदानीम्. Atha means after explaining the need for mastery over the senses in the previous verse, Idanim, now in this shloka as well as the following shloka, Parabhavishyataha, one who is slipping from the spiritual pursuit. Parabhavaha. Means losing the spiritual goal. Downfall from the spiritual pursuit is parabhavaha. Generally, parabhava means defeat. So, here parabhava means falling down from spiritual pursuit. In Viveka Chodamani, there is a beautiful explanation of parabhavaha. Lakshyachutam chedyadi chittamishat bahirmukham sannipate tatastataha pramadatah prachyuta keli kandukaha sopana pankto patito yatha tatha. So, Shankaracharya gives the example of how a ball which slips from somebody's hand above the staircase, above the steps, and it falls from one step to another step. If you don't prevent it from falling, at first step it is just slowly moving. It falls from once the high grade, the top highest step to the lowest step. Then the momentum is very less. Then it can be stopped easily. But then second step, momentum, it gains momentum. And the velocity increases. And with each later step, it gains momentum and the fall becomes faster and faster. And if it is not stopped, suppose it is falling through the steps leading to Ganga. If it is not stopped, it will just fall into the water. And the ball is lost. Chittam ishad lakshyachyutam chet. Chittam, the mind, if it goes a little away from the lakshya, from the goal, slightly, ishat, lakshyachyutam, it has deviated from the pursuit of moksha, slipped a little from the pursuit of moksha. Then, if it is not checked at the initial stage, then bahirmukham sat, it becomes bahirmukha, more and more extrovert. The mind becomes more and more extrovert. And then it falls, goes away from the pursuit of moksha. प्रमादतः प्रच्युत केलिकन्दुकः सोपानपङ्क्तौ पतितो यथा तथा. प्रमादतः सोपानपङ्क्तौ पतितः. Pramadataha, because of pramada, because of carelessness. Sopana pangtau, in the series of steps, stairs. Patitaha, kelikandukaha, a ball, yatha. You might have studied the shloka, I don't know. You can just go and look into your Viveka Chudamani book. So, Parabhavishyataha, one who falls down in the spiritual pursuit. Sarvanarthamulam idam, Sarvanarthamulam, the root of all the problems. Where the problem starts, the cause of the disaster. Idam uchyate, this is being said. And the root of all the desire is allowing the mind as well as senses to dwell in the sense object. That is where it starts. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. Dhyayataha means chintayataha, thinking. What? Vishayan, sense objects. Shabdadi vishaya visheshan. Alochayataha. We have not read? Okay. Dhyayataha, Chintayataha, Vishayan, Shabdadi Vishaya Visheshan, Alochayataha, Pumsaha, Purushasya, Sangaha, Asaktihi, Pritihi, Teshu, Vishayeshu, Upajayate, Sangat, Pritehe, Sanjayate, Samutpadyate, Kamaha, Trishna, Kamat, Kutaschit, Pratihatat, Krodhaha, Abhijayate. Dhyayataha is equal to Vishayan Chintayataha. And what are the Vishayas? Shabdadi Vishaya Visheshan. Alochayataha. Vishayan Chintayataha is equal to Shabdadi Vishaya Visheshan Alochayataha. One who thinks about Shabdadi Vishaya Vishesha. Vishaya Vishesha, any specific object, like a Shabda, etc. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Everything comes under these five. So the Vishaya can be anything. It may be any destination. It may be any position. It may be any person. All these are Vishaya. So there are varieties of Vishaya. It is not necessarily a smartphone. I don't have desire for smartphone, so I have Vairagya. It is not so. Even if you don't have Vairagya, smartphone, it is not necessary that you don't have Vairagya. You have Vairagya. So even without having smartphone, one can have Vishaya Dhyana. And we don't know what is his Vishaya. he may think of something else. Even that can be Vishaya. So Vishayas vary from person to person. One may not have desire for one thing. It doesn't mean he doesn't have desire for another thing. That is why we have to analyze ourselves. Is any Vishaya attracting me? We have to keep introspecting. There is a lot of need for introspection in spiritual pursuit. So, Shabdadi Vishaya Visheshan Alochayataha Pumsaha. Pumsaha means Purushasya, an individual. Again, Pumsaha does not mean, Purushasya does not mean Brahman. Here, Purusha does not mean Brahman. Purusha means a person, that's all. Sangaha. Sangaha is equal to Asaktihi Preetihi. Asaktihi or Preetihi means a sadharana Preeti. Preetihi Asaktiriti sadharana Asakti matram grihyate. A sadharana asakti, a simple interest. It is nice to have that kind of an interest. Vishayeshu upajayate, a preeti arises. And sangat, preetehe. So at this stage, one could have checked. Even at the time of Vishaya Dhyana, even at the time of thinking about a Vishaya, if one is very much alert, one can check it. Then it is easy to check. But then, second stage Preeti, still it is not very difficult, not too late. But when it grows into a kama, it is much more difficult. Sangat preetehe sanjayate samutpadyate kamaha trishna. Sangat is equal to preetehe. From preeti, kamaha trishna sanjayate. Kamaha is equal to trishna. Trishna means craving. A strong desire. I should have it. Sanjayate is equal to samutpadyate, arises. Kamat, kamat kutaschit pratihatat. Kamat krodho bhijayate. Kama gives rise to krodha. How? Kutaschit pratihatat. If the kama is pratihata, is obstructed by some factor, kutaschit, because of something. If the kama is obstructed, then it gives rise to krodhaha. One who is obstructing my kama, I get krodha towards him. I get angry with him. Krodhat bhavati. Krodhat bhavati. Sammohaha. Avivekaha. Karya karya vishayaha. Krodhat sammohaha bhavati. Because of krodha, there is sammoha. Sammoha means karya karya vishayaha avivekaha. Lack of discrimination, lack of distinction with respect to karya and akarya. Karya means what one should do. Akarya means what one should not do. Dharma and adharma. What is right and what is wrong, that understanding is blocked. It is sammoha. Because of the strong impulse of krodha, the strong impulse of krodha overpowers my understanding of right and wrong. And that is how I end up doing something wrong. Kruddho hi sammodhaha san gurum api akroshati. Kruddhaha. See, kruddhaha, if he is angry, sammodhaha san, because of sammoha, he is sammudha, he is deluded, at least for a while. Gurum api akroshati, he shouts at his guru also, which is not imaginable for Shankaracharya. Gurum api akroshati, he shouts even at his guru. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha shastracharyopadesha ahita samskara janitayaha smritehe syad vibhramaha भ्रंशः स्मृत्युत्पत्ति निमित्त प्राप्तौ अनुत्पत्तिः सम्मोहात्. Because of sammoha, for a while he ends up doing adharma, and then it is justified, and then because of the justification that takes place in his mind, his viveka becomes a blur. The memory of right and wrong becomes a blur. It does not arise even when it is supposed to arise. So here smriti means the understanding of right and wrong. And the understanding of right and wrong is present in the form of samskara, because it is trained when this person was young. He was trained what is right and wrong. That is samskara. Smriti vibhramaha शास्त्राचार्योपदेश आहित संस्कार जनितायाः स्मृतेः. What is the smriti? The smriti born of samskara. In fact, every smriti is born of samskara. Samskara is the hidden form of all memories. For example, if I learn something today, suppose I memorize a shloka today, in between I don't keep memorizing the shloka. Half an hour I have put an effort to memorize a shloka, let's say. After the half an hour, I just get into other works. I speak to other people and I eat. Then I sleep also. But then tomorrow, I am able to remember the shloka. In between, I was not in touch with the shloka also. My mind was totally engaged in other things in between. But tomorrow I am able to remember the shloka. How is it possible? Because the half an hour that I have spent today has created an impression in my mind, a samskara in my mind. The impression that it creates, it is called samskara. And the samskara manifests. And when the samskara manifests, it is called smriti. Smritihi. Samskara is the hidden impression, the latent impression is called samskara. And when it manifests in the form of a vritti in my antahkaranam, then it is called smritihi. So samskara is like the recording. The recording data, all the recording is saved in the form of data in your electronic gadget. It is like a samskara. Then when it is played, it is called smriti. So likewise, everything is present in the form of samskara. Every word that I am uttering, it is present in my mind in the form of samskara. And it comes as smriti, as I am speaking. All our vyavahara depends on smriti. If I don't have samskara, I may not be able to remember your names. I have all your names in my mind as samskara, and it comes as smriti when I am doing the vyavahara. Likewise, when we study the Shastra, Dharma Shastra, what is right, what is wrong, Dharma Shastra also produces a samskara in our mind. This is right, this is wrong. All the education produces a samskara of right and wrong. It is the Shastriya samskara, the samskara produced by the Shastra. And when we are doing vyavahara, the samskara becomes available as a smriti. This is right, this is wrong. Our buddhi keeps reminding. That is what we call conscience. Conscience is nothing but a kind of smriti, born of our samskara. We have been trained. It is not good. It is not right. When I am trying to, if I feel like hurting someone, my samskara reminds. The conscience reminds, don't do it. It is not right. And because of the smriti, the conscience, born of the samskara, I am able to restrain my impulses. If I don't have the smriti, I will act only impulsively. I will do what my impulses say. Now, this person, at one point of time, he has acted impulsively, and it has repeated a few times, 2 times, 3 times. Then the buddhi stops producing the smriti. Even though the samskara is there, the samskara of the shastriya samskara is overpowered by the ashastriya samskara of doing the wrong thing. Then the buddhi stops reminding me of what is correct, because my ashastriya samskara, it is overtaking. That is smriti vibhramaha. Smriti vibhramaha means shastracharyopadesha ahita samskara janitayaha smritehe vibhramaha syat. And the samskara which produces the smriti is produced by shastra acharya upadesha. The upadesha of shastra and acharya. In olden days, this was the education. Shastra acharya upadesha. He is not talking about Vedanta Shastra, Dharma Shastra. The Dharma Shastra teaches right and wrong. So he is a person educated in terms of dharma. In olden days, it was dharma-based education. That is why the society had dharma. Shastra acharya upadesha ahita samskara. Shastra acharya upadesha produces a samskara. And that samskara produces a smriti. The samskara was ahita, produced when he was a student in the Gurukula. And when he is doing the vyavahara, he should produce the smriti. What is right, what is wrong. Now, because of his ashastriya samskara, the smriti gets blocked. Smritehe vibhramaha. Vibhramaha means bhramshaha. Smriti is broken. And what is the meaning of bhramsha, vibhrama? Smrityutpatti nimitta praptau anutpattihi. Smrityutpatti nimitta praptau. If there is a nimitta, an occasion for a particular smriti to arise, when a particular smriti is needed, then it is not coming. Anutpatti. For example, I have a temptation to tell lie. Then my smriti, my samskara should remind me, don't tell lie, it is wrong. That is occasion, nimitta. I have a temptation to tell a lie. Then my mind reminds me, don't tell a lie. The conscience. The smriti is the conscience. There is a nimitta. Even when there is a nimitta, an occasion, the smriti does not come. Because the mind knows, anyway he is not going to listen to it. So why I should remind? Nimitta praptau anutpattihi. Tataha smritibhramshat buddhehe nashaha. Tataha. Tataha means smritibhramshat. Because of the smritibhramsha, buddhehe nashaha, buddhi nashaha. The buddhi is destroyed, buddhi is lost. And what is buddhi nasha? Bhashyakara explains, karya karya vishaya viveka ayogyata antahkaranasya buddher nashaha uchyate. कार्या कार्य विवेक विषय विवेक अयोग्यता अंतःकरणस्य बुद्धेः नाशः उच्यते. बुद्धेः नाशः, the destruction of buddhi is in the form of buddhi being ayogya, incapable of karya karya viveka, incapable of understanding right and wrong. Antahkaranasya, buddhi is antahkarana. The mind becomes incapable of comprehending the right and wrong. It is called buddhinasha. Buddhinashat pranashyati. Buddhinashat. When buddhinasha happens, Purushaha pranashyati. The individual is also lost. Tavadevahi Purushaha Yavat Antahkaranam Tadiyam Karya Karya Vishaya Vivekayogyam Tavadevahi Purushaha. An individual can be called a Purusha, a human being, until that time. Until what time? As long as his buddhi is capable of understanding right and wrong, as long as his buddhi is capable of understanding the values, the dharma and adharma, yavat, as long as tadiyam antahkaranam, his antahkarana, his mind is karya karya vishaya viveka yogyam, is capable of understanding karya and akarya, dharma and adharma, until then he can be called a Purusha, he can be called a human being. If it is lost, if his mind is not capable of understanding dharma and adharma, then he is as good as an animal. He becomes a pashu, because his human life is a waste. Without dharma, human life is a waste. All other purusharthas are there, even for animals. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunani samanyametat pashubhir naranam. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna, all these are common for all animals. Ahara, food. We also eat, other animals also eat. We also drink, other animals also drink. Bhaya, nidra, all these are common. Then what is special? Dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshaha. Dharma is the speciality which makes a human being different. Therefore, when dharma is not there, when he is not able to understand what is dharma and what is adharma, he is no longer a Purusha. Tad ayogyatve nashta eva Purushaha bhavati. Tad ayogyatve, if his mind is karya vishaya viveka ayogya, then nashta eva purusho bhavati, then a purusha is nashta, lost. Ataha tasya antahkaranasya buddhehe nashat pranashyati purushartha yogyo bhavati ityarthaha. Ataha, therefore, tasya antahkaranasya buddhehe nashat, because of the nasha of the buddhi. When the buddhi is not capable of understanding dharma and adharma, the distinction between dharma and adharma, then pranashyati. Pranashyati means purushartha ayogyo bhavati. He is lost means he is not capable of pursuing purushartha, unfit for pursuing the purushartha. There is no dharma purushartha for him, and if dharma purushartha is not possible, even moksha purushartha is also not possible. Then only artha and kama are left. And artha and kama, for artha and kama, one need not be a human being also. The human life is wasted as far as spiritual pursuit is concerned. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.